Welcome in world to my bookworms and not about to be bookworms. Let's go through some history on why World Book Day is so important. April 23rd was a date chosen back in 1995 when UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, proposed a way to celebrate books and reading. It has grown in its mission to promote reading for pleasure, offering every child and young person, most especially those from disadvantaged backgrounds, to have the opportunity of having a book of their own and start a lifelong habit of reading for pleasure and the improved life chances that brings them. It is celebrated in over 100 countries around the globe. Children who regularly read for enjoyment have higher test scores, develop a broader vocabulary, increase general knowledge, and a better understanding of other cultures than their non-reading counterparts. And regular reading for pleasure is the single biggest indicator of a child's future success, more than their family circumstances, more than their parents' educational backgrounds or their income. Let me end with a few fun facts and encouragement before we get into today's book. Reading is self-care. Reading reduces stress by at least 68%. Think about the therapeutic effect of just holding a book, its scent, the texture of the cover and the pages, the glossy or matte finish of the cover. Books are personal. You make them whatever they are to you. The stories in them, where they take your imagination. Books, it all adds up. Reading just 20 minutes a day equates to reading 1.8 million words per year. Say what? It builds fluency. Reading is the best way to build your vocabulary, and this is evident mostly in children. Libraries are so cool. Find your closest library and explore. Today's outfit is inspired by Matilda's Lavender. Today I'll be reading you David Shannon's A Bad Case of Stripes. This is one of my favorites. I think I read it like 2-3 times. So, of course, I wanted to share with you this World Book Day. Camilla Cream loved lima beans, but she never ate them. All of her friends hated lima beans, and she wanted to fit in. Camilla was always worried about what other people thought of her. Today, she was fretting even more than usual. It was the first day of school, and she couldn't decide what to wear. There were so many people to impress. She tried on 42 outfits, but none seemed quite right. She put on a pretty little red dress and looked into the mirror. Then she screamed, "Ah!" Her mother ran into her room. Sorry, let me show that to y'all so y'all can take in Camilla's, that last pretty red dress that made it. Her mother ran into the room and she screamed too. "Oh my heavens! You're completely covered with stripes." This was certainly true. Camilla was striped from head to toe. She looked like a rainbow. Mrs. Cream felt Camilla's forehead. "Do you feel all right?" she asked. "I feel fine," Camilla answered. "But just look at me." "You get back in bed this instant," her mother ordered. "You're not going to school today." Camilla was relieved. She didn't want to miss the first day of school, but she was afraid of what the other kids would say, and she had no idea what to wear with those crazy stripes. That afternoon, Dr. Bumble came to examine Camilla. "Most extraordinary," he claimed. "I've never seen anything like it. Are you having any coughing, sneezing, runny nose, aches, pains, or uncontrollable twitching?" "No," Camilla told him. "I feel fine." "Well then," Dr. Bumble said, turning to Mrs. Cream, I don't see any reason why she shouldn't go to school tomorrow. Here's some ointment that should help clear up those stripes in a few days. If it doesn't, you know where to reach me." And off he went. The next day was a disaster. Everyone at school laughed at Camilla. They called her Camilla Crayon and Night of the Living Lollipop. She tried her best to act as if everything was normal. But when the class said the Pledge of Allegiance, her stripes turned red, white, and blue, and she broke out in stars. The other kids thought this was great. One yelled, "Let's see some purple polka dots." Sure enough, Camilla turned purple, polka dotty. Someone else shouted, "Checkerboard," and a pattern of squares covered her skin. Soon everyone was calling out different shapes and colors, and poor Camilla was changing faster than you could change channels on the TV. That night, Mr. Harms, the school principal, called. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Cream," he said. "I'm going to have to ask you to keep Camilla at home from school. She's just too much of a distraction, and I've been getting calls from the other parents. They're afraid those stripes might be contagious." Camilla was so embarrassed. She couldn't believe that 2 days ago everyone liked her. Now nobody wanted to be in the same room with her. Her father tried to make her feel better. "Is there anything I can get you, sweetheart?" he asked. "No, thank you," sighed Camilla. What she really wanted was a nice plate of lima beans. But she had been laughed at enough for one day. Look at Mom and Dad just so worried for Camilla. Well, yes, I see. Dr. Bumble mumbled when Mr. Cream phoned him next day. I think I better bring in the specialist. We'll be right over." About an hour later, Dr. Bumble arrived with 4 people in long white coats. He introduced them to the Creams. "This is Dr. Grap, Dr. Sponge, Dr. Cricket, and Dr. Young." Sorry. Then the specialist went to work on Camilla.